Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adopters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are indeed still a thing. Can I get a wee audio check in the chat there, please? Anglo seems to be the only person talking. Evening, brother. Very glad to have you aboard. You're going to like this one tonight, mate. Yep. So if somebody could let me know, or Anglo could let me know, come. Slim's in. He says you can hear me. Brilliant. Thank you very much. 5x5 Anglo. Excellent. Thanks. And with no further ado, I will welcome tonight's guest, my good friend of the channel, Al Mac. What about you, chum?
Hello, mate. Yes, back again. So, because we've been at it again, haven't we?
We have indeed. we have been very naughty boys and making dissident music again.
We have. So yeah, hi Anglo, hi Slim. Yes, we've got one for you, Anglo. I know you know this was coming, mate, but it's all good. Eleanor, hiya.
Oh,
it's good to see a few people coming in there.
Yeah, it is. I actually let Anglo in on the sneak preview link, so he's had a sneak. I thought that was right to do.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool. And well, I can say he approves. He definitely enjoyed it. So
Brilliant.
that's
what
good.
What we're going to try and do later. And it really is all down to whether the tech's going to work or not. But we're going to try, because I know there's lots of people in the Scrubs sphere that make music and use DAWs and stuff like that. So I know there's loads, but I know there's a few of you won't know how a sort of modern studio or home studio works. Actually, pretty much it's a commercial studio as well these days. So we're going to try and demonstrate how the track was made. Now I can see it all falling on its ass, but at least the video's out there. So we'll see how the tech goes. But okay,
if nothing else, we can give it a go.
We will. And by the way, have you been binge watching all the Salt videos?
I haven't.
Oh man!
Unfortunately, I have just not had time for that. I do need to carve a bit of time out and sit down and enjoy that because I am very much looking forward to it.
I've probably over binged on it now. But there are some fantastic ones. And
is it as good as last time?
Oh yeah, easily. But there was one I heard driving back from Peterborough today, and I think it was on. It was a guy. I think it was on Fox News presenting, and he was showing a load of them. And he showed a load of sort of genuine, women, mainly sort of feminist, crying about God knows what, But oh, cheers, Anglo. Yeah, but they had this guy come on. He was a sort of Latino guy, Mexican or whatever, and he come on and he's crying and all that, and he's saying, "I can't believe it with Trump now being." So yeah, we're sorry, I was just reading the chat there. With Trump now coming, I'm really worried that my mother-in-law is going to get deported back to wherever. Did you see that one?
I seen that. Dave
It's
played it
fucking
on the
brilliant.
Waffle House, and yeah,
It's
just
fucking brilliant.
crying his eyes out.
Yeah,
Or-
it's and I'm really worried. And yeah, she lives at 47, blah blah
yeah,
Avenue, just
yeah. The
opposite
address is. Please make sure nothing happens
Yeah,
at this address.
yeah. And she always leaves the back door open. You can hear
Yeah,
it. It's fucking brilliant.
it was that was class.
Yeah,
That's
that's top
right, mate.
Charlie.
Before I go any further, I end up forgetting. I'm going to do the housekeeping. And what I've got in from Sansom. Hold on. Right, yeah. Sorry, I was reading the wrong message here. Right, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Ragnar Arnspear's channel. Rags and Jack will be having a chat with Horace, which is always a good conversation. So there's that. On Monday on Sansom's channel, 8 p.m., Monday Night Raw, Toffee is talking to Mark Collette. So if you want to watch that, that's on at 8 p.m. Sansom's channel. John Davison on Tuesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m. There's Rex just arrived in.
Well, he's just put that link in. Can you play it? I think that's the clip that I was talking about. I think.
Is that the right?
Yeah.
I will see if I can get that in a minute. I might have to go.
Right.
I might have.
Rag, is that the clip? Is that the one that I was just talking about?
I think it is. Rags, let us know if that's the right clip. What we'll need to do is open up my YouTube because it shows you the link in StreamYard, but doesn't let you actually click it. Fucking strange. I wonder can I copy it? No, I can't even copy it. It's strange. Because whenever on StreamYard, here's the weird thing. First world problems from
right.
people.
If you right click, right.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Open a link in new tab.
No, on my StreamYard, whenever I try to click anything about it, it just does this.
Oh. Well, I've just started it off. Right.
Right. Have you started?
Yeah. Sorry, you have to have YouTube open.
Right. Can you stick that in the private chat?
Hang on. All right, I didn't mean I clicked on it and it started.
I actually should do. Right. I'm going to have to start doing this. I'm going to have to start having my YouTube comments open during the thing. But we will get there. While I'm doing this, yes, John Davison's Tuesdays and Fridays, 8:30. 8:30 every night. You have the Dave Waffle House, and in there you will get all sorts of madness. The best duck race on the internet has now expanded. I believe there was 120 quackers going up the course last week. The one thing I will say is, Dave, with my new schedule, I need to be out on a Friday evening. If you could tell us a regular slot what time the duck race is going to start, I would jump in for that, just for the duck race. But yeah, if you want somewhere to chill out, have a laugh, all that sort of stuff, Dave's Waffle House during the week, that's the place for that. Oh,
man, there's a back box of frogs. Right, yep. So I'll put that YouTube link in the private chat, and you should be able to open that up.
Fuck, I've just got my own YouTube one open there. Right, okay, where am I?
You should open another link.
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Here we go. One momento. Right, I'm going to play that. And the other thing before I finish, Courage to Secure streams on a lot of different platforms a lot of the time. It's all good. If you want to know what's going on in the world, she's your girl for that. And I'm going to show this bit of the man very concerned for his poor mother-in-law.
Donald Trump won, and I am very, very afraid that he might deport my mother-in-law. She entered illegally to the country, and she lives in Street 4, number 47, apartment D, New York. I am very, very concerned. That's right behind the green apartment. Yeah. I have nothing bad happened to her. The gate is always open. You don't have any dogs either. Street 4, number 47, apartment D. If she got the bottom how my life would be.
Perfect.
Why? For number 47, apartment D.
That is fucking class.
That's brilliant. In fact, those it's crocodile tears are probably
Yes.
more genuine than
Oh.
half the lunatics that I've been watching all week and just feasting on these.
I have no doubt he's feeling that his life would be much better if his mother-in-law was just told to fuck away off.
There's no dogs. The gate's always open. You can go around the back.
Yeah. It was very good.
She's a criminal. Yeah, that's right. She's going to get deported, Anglo. Exactly.
Yep. She's a criminal. She has to go. Oh, fuck. Right. Let's see. Where are we? I think before we go too much further, we'll give this its first earning of the night, and then we can talk about it. How's that sound? Because I think we could end up playing this quite a few times.
Yeah, well, look, it's short and sweet, this one, and it's, and I think it probably needs, to some people, might need some
explanation.
Explanation, because it is random. Now, when you sent the video over, I got it straight away. Even in the first bit, I thought, I know where this is going, and because we know of our friend Anglo Saxon here, being a butcher as well, but I know you wrote the poem. Why don't you talk a little bit about the poem first?
Right.
You talked about it, I think, on Dangerfield stream, weren't you?
Yeah, for the last couple of years, I've been wanting to write a poem about what's happening to English people and where they came from and where they are now. And I could never figure out how to write it. And I was listening to, was one of the streams I did one night, and Anglo said quite a few things in the comments, and it just sort of clicked with me where we were, and I was like, yeah, this is how you do it. You write it about somebody that's living their life, and then you bring in the backstory of what those people were before it, and that's pretty much what he attempted to do. And then, yep, Anglo got a sneak preview. Susan, whenever Al and I are, and other people are working on these projects, how we check the progress is I throw it up on YouTube on a unlisted thing, so the only people can find it are the ones that have the link. Then I can send out the link, people can see it, and importantly, as opposed to sending a file about, you can see how it's going to actually look and sound on YouTube after they've done their stuff with it. Not claiming credit for that. That's something I learned from Paul Allen, a voice for me, and that's how we moved videos about, and I just copied it because, well, fucking knew how to do it and I wasn't learning something new. But my idea was to try to show where the English people came from, where they are now, and telling it through Anglo was the thing that worked for me. And then I wrote the poem. I sent it to you. Whenever I wrote the poem, I actually didn't. Well, I didn't know. I didn't think it would be a song, but I didn't know. And I was like, fuck it, I'll send it to Al, and Al can make that decision because Al does all the music. So you got the thing. You got the thing for me, and I will call it a thing because my raw voice is not. Yeah, without the context of the music, and whatever else Al does, it doesn't sound brilliant.
No, you pretty honestly, your voice is great and it's captivating. It's such it's a regional. It's so sort of typical regional voice, but it sounds interesting, and that's why they've worked in every one. Slight difference with this one is we didn't completely turn it song. Gary from Justice Kane wasn't involved in it, so I did all the music on this one, and I thought it's a short poem, and I wanted to just try having some backing music that was going to be not particularly relevant in any way, because how could you make music that was kind of directly relevant to the
Well, fuck!
poem?
It sounds to me like you did it, because whenever I started to put, whenever I first heard it, I was like, "Holy fuck, that's good!" And then whenever I started to put images to it, it was like, "Fuck me, this is on the nail."
Yeah, no, cheers, and because I thought there's no need for this one to have any song involved with it. It's going to be more of a conventional piece, just simple piece of music. But a little bit of funky bass groove going on there, if I say so myself, and with a poem over the top of it. Then when we started, talking about the Kipling, we're probably talking too much about it. We can put it on there, but
Yeah,
we've got Emma G involved with it as well.
yes, Emma G's in the vocals in this one.
We did. She's on the phone. She called in while I was in the studio. She rang in on my old-fashioned telephone, recited a bit of the Kipling poem. She got angry. She slammed the phone down, and you're going to hear it all.
Yep. Right. With that, I think I'm going to. Oh, hold on. Boomer, press the wrong button. Present video file. That's what I want. Right. Here we go. I checked this earlier. Better work again. Hello. You're listening to 42's letter to the Anglo Saxons. When you spread this message, you are the resistance. The Anglo Saxon. The Anglo Saxon shook his head sharply, his hair dislodging droplets of sweat from the back of his neck, the produce of moving a carcass to the workbench. The sharpened blades and cleavers felt natural in his hand. The carcass divided to his will. The Anglo-Saxon's muscle memory was that of a warrior. His body was lost to the toil, but his mind wandered to memories that were not his own. An intruder startled the Anglo-Saxon. However, before him was not the meadows and glades of his ancestors, but a butcher's shop window. While politely serving the customer, the Anglo-Saxon mourned the loss of a kingdom he had never known, of the rituals and customs that were lost long before his grandparents were even born. Outside, the street was a bustle. He knew there were others like him, ones who carried the warrior's pride. Amongst them he would find the rightful place of an Anglo-Saxon. The Anglo-Saxon.
It was not preached to the crowd, it was not taught by the state. No man spoke it aloud when the Anglo-Saxons began to hate. It was not suddenly bred, it will not swiftly abate. Through the chill years ahead, when the time shall count from the date that the Anglo-Saxons began to hate. When time shall count from the date the Anglo-Saxons began to hate.
Game over.
There we go. Emma J is in the chat, but she's lurking. She's been having issues with severe eye strain and stuff, so she'll not be in the chat that much. Hopefully, she's going to be sorted out on Monday. Well, she's going to the doctors on Monday.
Oh,
well,
get well soon, Emma.
Yeah.
So that was short and sweet. Short and sweet track.
Yeah. I'm just sorry. I'm just being quiet. I'm looking at the comments coming in, and they all say, "Yeah, thank you very much." On behalf of us, the comments everybody that's seen it has been very positive about it. I think we did a really good job. I think your idea with the game over at the end is class.
Do you know, when I was doing it, and I just thought, especially with the phone down, and I thought that this is, with that final line here, when the Anglo Saxon begins to hate, and it's like when you're being just pushed too far, there's going to be repercussions, and it usually, can go in a big way, as it has in the past. And I just thought, I just want that computer game over. And but when I put it in there, I thought, oh no, this is it a bit cheesy? This is not something that you could do with a song, and that's what I love about doing this with sort of spoken word lyrics.
There's no rules.
There's no rules, and I can also put in things like sounds that are descriptive that you wouldn't do in a song. When he's talking about sharpening the blade, and I just went, just as you say, sharpen. I have a blade sharpening on it, and it's like, okay, in a song you wouldn't need to put these descriptives in, but in this it's like, why the hell not? It's nice, and we have access to any sounds that we want. So if I want to put a sound effect in there.
We could well be inventing a whole new genre called folk poetry.
Well, I think this is number 4.
It is,
and I think we have. I think we already have invented a new genre.
Yeah, like we're at least halfway to an album, which puts you a quarter way to a stadium tour.
I love your optimism there, man.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to panic Emma that she might have to go on one. Our first thing was, you're not going to any concerts. You're not going to any concert. Now she's going to have to go too.
Well, that's it. That's it. You do need someone to carry all your gear and everything like that. And it'll be cheaper than hiring someone in as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, Emma, I'm only joking.
I'm just going to answer. Ragnar, they're all basically the same poem. What's happened is people have changed the names of it through the years. It's got several names at the beginnings. The Saxons began to hate, or when the English began to hate. And that's because people have changed one word here and there. And oh, Emma's my favourite groupie. You're only my groupie, nobody else's.
No, I think she's directing that at me.
Right.
Me.
Yeah. And we have changed that as well, because the Kipling version was when the Saxons began to hit, and we've put Anglo Saxons. A slight change, but it's basically the same poem all the way through, and just people have given it different names. Is where that's at. But what you're talking about, putting the sounds on top of things, and then you've done that, and then whenever I come back and I'm doing the video, then I'm putting images on top of it. I'm blue out.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Mate. It's right, we're gonna live that. You never miss what a friend gets. I would just want to say, this is all joking. This is all joking. It's fun. We're allowed to have a laugh. But you've put the sounds on top of everything, and I really like where you put in the window breaking, where at the point where it was sort of breaking from the past to today, and you broke the 4th window.
Yeah. Do you know? You mentioned the shop window, and what I heard in my head was that this guy whose business it is, and probably had this business for 30, 40 years,
Yeah,
he's having his shop window broken in, right? Not
yeah,
necessarily, not literally, but just, you know, all the high street shops are closing down, and everything's been, you know, halal butchers are
yeah.
taking over everywhere, especially, you know, where I am anyway. And and that's what I thought. You mentioned shop window. I'm breaking that shop window, and what I really like what you did there was bringing the SAS when they
Well,
were breaking a few windows. You know,
see, what it done was on all the bits where it says Anglo Saxon, you've got a different man from a different era, uh, a different Englishman from a different era. I'm going, that's an Anglo Saxon, that's an Anglo Saxon, that's an Anglo Saxon. So it went from the Battle of Hastings to World War One, and then to bring it right up to date, the SAS with the Iranian embassy, because that was where I could easily find a picture of a window being broken. I was like, right, I'll dump that in there. But what you've just said there, yeah, there could be another version of this video at some stage. To what Mark Sheldon's saying, can we send a copy to Stammer? I can tell you now that I will be tweeting the link to this to Mr. Stammer. So yes, he will be getting a copy.
can we make sure we get a cell next to each other in the gulag? Can you do that?
Oh, mate, they would not want me in an English prison. Honestly, I swear to God, put me in an English prison, I'll be coming out with all white English wings.
Yeah.
I'll break their prison system until they have to do it.
Yeah, but you would.
Yeah, no, I swear to fuck. See if I get arrested and put in see if I was to get arrested and put in an English prison for something I've done on the internet, I am not putting uniform on. I'm not putting clothes on. And I am going into solitary. And I'm telling everybody else that telling everybody else we're political prisoners and we're not complying with the system and we want our own wing where we're safe.
Yeah. Yeah, well, good luck over here.
Oh, well, here's the thing. See, whenever you're working outside, whenever you've already decided you're not going to comply with the system, there's not a lot they can do with you. They can't physically dress you every morning. They can't physically push you onto a wing. Not allowed to.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah. And I will say, yes, this is my message to the police. Please don't send me to an English prison. I'll be more trouble than you're worth, and I don't really want to go. That's a preemptive strike.
Yeah. Linda Hunter, yeah, thank you. Mrs. Mac, Ali C may make an appearance. I think she's downstairs listening on the earbuds. So she may do, because this brought up a bit of a conversation last night when I put the I've only really seen I think final version of the video. I think 42 sent me on Friday. So last night we're having a few drinks, put it on the TV, big TV soundbar, and so she saw it, and it brought up a conversation about 7/7 because of the images of 7/7 there. And
yes, which is something I didn't know. You and Ali obviously haven't spoke about this in depth, so obviously nobody else knows. But yeah, Ali had quite the experience.
Yeah, it was 19, because I couldn't remember what year it was. I was convinced it was 2006 or 2007, but it's 2005, so 19 years ago. And Ali works in the West End of London. He at the time done various ways of getting in there, of commuting, but I think at that time she got parked up a car at Stockwood Park and got a bus into the West End. I believe at that time, done various different things, including driving, taking the train. But yeah, so she'd taken the coach into London from South Luton, and so she would have left early, got into work early. And I used to listen to radio back then. I mean, I don't now. I haven't listened to radio for 5 years or so.
Oh, tell me about it. It's a nightmare.
No, exactly. I'm not interested. I don't listen to radio. I don't listen to radio news. It's all bullshit. I think I might have even listened to LBC back in the day, and even used to listen to James O'Brien before he went completely bananas. You know, with a lead up to Brexit and after Brexit, that guy lost his fucking mind. But anyway, long story, forget about him. And I heard that, first of all, if you remember, they said that there was a power outage in one of the in the underground system in one of the stations. There's a power outage, and that was how they spun it for some time. Right. And yeah, so I think then it came about that there might have been an explosion on one of the. So it went from power outage to a possible explosion at one of the stations. Still not really sort of thinking terrorist attack at that point. So I rang her.
It's not the first thing to spring to your mind. Certainly in London, and at that time, if you heard there's an explosion, you're probably thinking there's some form of gas or canisters or a terrible accident. Would be the first thing to come to your head.
Exactly. And this was like the equivalent of a guy from Cardiff, a Welsh guy from Cardiff who'd moved up to Southport and went, started to become a bit of a menace. It's that equivalent. It was like there was a power outage. Well, there's a power outage because a lot of fucking bombs went off. And that was how they spun it to begin with. It was just bullshit. But as the time went on, we started to hear more that there was and I think the bus was later on. Now, Ali was talking about it. She remembered more about it. If she comes up, maybe, she might be listening. She might pop up. And so I rang her and said, everything okay? You all right? She said, yeah, why? I said, well, fucking London's in chaos and train stations are going up and all that. Then I don't know anything about it. And so, hung up and all that. And obviously the news started drifting through to the firm that she works for. And I think that they might have got some official word on what was going on. But basically,
well,
they were told. So
I'll tell you what I do know. They tell all the business owners first.
Right. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, they've a standardized thing where I know this because we've been through it a lot, but the first people to tell are the business owners because they have got a health and safety obligation to their staff. So that's why it's not a conspiratorial thing. They need to get the information out in a controlled way, and how they do it is we'll tell the business owners, they can tell their staff, and then we can work from there.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. And like I say, and it wasn't anything conspiratorial. It was all for the best of reasons. And so they basically locked everyone down in the building. Now, she works for quite a large West End law firm. And they stopped anyone from going outside. And not in an authoritarian way. It was just like, it's not safe to go out. Just no one's going out, blah, blah, blah. So I think these attacks happened sort of earliest in the morning. And it was sometime after, news was sort of dripping in about what was happening. Then we had the the bus that had the roof ripped off of it. Then eventually, of course, there was no buses, there were no trains, no underground. Everything was shut down, completely shut down. And she said to me and reminded me last night, we were talking about it, that it was like when she finally left the building, they let everyone out. But it was like 28 days later, London was like deserted, no cars on the road, only a few black cabs, which the black cabs are still running. But to try and get one was very, very difficult. And what they ended up having to do was, because she worked right by Selfridges, right on Oxford Street, so just across the way from Selfridges. So they had to walk up to Lord's Cricket Ground with a couple of her colleagues, and they, I think, got in a cab that took them up a little bit further out towards North London, where one of colleague friends lived, and they actually lent her a car so she could drive back to Luton in it. And I think that we took the car back a couple of days later, and I think that her car was left in a car park, Stockwood Park, and which is just fantastic for them to do. I could have got down there and gone and pick her up, but I think the most important thing that really want to sort of mention about that was, I said, okay, yeah, what happened? They said, well, did anyone go to work the next day?
Yep.
Cabs of colour. Yeah. Yeah. She said, no, nobody went to work the next day. It was just the commuting was, out of the question. But
how long was London Transport down for?
Well, I think the actual tube network was down for possibly about a week.
Fuck.
Until they got that fully opened up, or some of the stations where the bombs were might have been shut down.
Right, yeah.
But they got the underground network up and running. But the thing was, well, did everyone go back to work? She said, yeah. Within like the second day, everybody was back at work, was trying to get in whichever way that they could. It was like these are Londoners, but you got to remember, this is 20 years ago nearly. Right?
Yep.
And these are Londoners. These are real people, and they're just saying, "Fuck this! I need to go to work. I'm going to get into work, whatever means I have to get into work. I'm going to work." So everybody did, and they just got on with it, and it was like forgotten about. There was no, memorial every year. I know it's 52 people died, something like that. I know it's not 9/11. It's not as big as that, but it did shut a major city down for a couple of days. Like 9/11 shut New York down for a couple of weeks. And I know it was a couple of skyscrapers coming down. It's a little bit of more of an inconvenience.
Well, here's the thing. From a security perspective, what happened in London was a lot more problematic than what happened in New York, because what you had in London was multiple bombs in multiple locations that are open to the public all the time.
Yeah.
Now,
it was transport infrastructure.
Right. Yes, it's transport infrastructure. Now, that means you've got to then go and check all of that, and it's fucking massive. And the opportunity for it to be replicated is fucking massive. Pretty hard to get more jets to fly into buildings. So on 9/11, they knew that they had, the day after 9/11, they knew they had control of the air again, and they knew that, relatively speaking, it couldn't be replicated anytime soon. So they could, in theory, have went back within 20. Well, apart from the physical rubble, which didn't affect, which probably affected a much smaller footprint because it was all contained within the one area. Whereas in London, you had that spread all over the place, and you've also got everybody stepping onto a bus that's exactly like the one that roof just blew off.
Yeah.
And all those Londoners went, fuck yous, we're getting back on that bus and we're going back to work. That's quite a bit of determination.
It was, and that's exactly the attitude of most people at the time.
Yeah.
Where I want to contrast this, if you go ahead, let's move forward 15 years to 2020.
Yep.
And, right, with the coof.
Yep.
And the lockdowns. Right, and everyone's shitting themselves. Nobody wants to go back to work. Nobody wants to go on a bus or public transport. Everyone's got ridiculous masks on. It was a completely different situation in 2020 because of the brainwashing and the bullshit had been ramped up to an extreme level. But when you just left it, just Londoners going back to work in 2005, everyone just went back to work. No one fussed about it. No one talked about it. They just carried on with their lives, like proper talking about people.
That's because there was a decision taken by the government after 7/7 that things were going to continue, and there was a decision taken by, well, actually, it wasn't the government. To be fair, the people that made all the decisions during the coup were the same people Orwell talked about in 1984, the conglomeration of trade unionists, teachers, academics, activists. He didn't say NGOs because they weren't a thing then, but it said something alluding to that. And they all decided we're going to close down, and the government folded and let them.
Yeah, it's a rat's nest of gobshites, basically.
Yeah, fuck, total rat's nest. Rat's nest to go. I'm going to steal that for a meme.
So yeah, I think it's amazing that how far we've not come but gone downhill. Where 2-3 years later, after the coup, nobody wants to go back to work. Nobody wants to go to work. Everyone wants to work from home in their pajamas.
Yes.
Yeah. Or if you do go into London, people are still wearing masks. You still see it and then just think, what? I know the demographics have changed because it is nearly 20 years ago, but it's not the same. The city doesn't have the same spirit and it doesn't have the same heart. And it's different people, a nest of scheming vipers. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Even better.
Yeah. Martin saying London has changed from 2005 for the worse. It has indeed.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. So there we are, and it was I'll say again, it was interesting because we hadn't spoke about it. We have had no memorial every year for 9/11. It just. We haven't spoke about that day since that day. It literally haven't, and it was like when we saw the images, it's going, yeah, God, I remember that day. Do you remember? I couldn't get home. I couldn't get home, and that's what I was going. Yeah, we had to walk for miles up to Lord's Cricket Ground, and someone from the West End, which actually isn't that far, but just make that as one. But no, it's far enough if you walk.
Well, here's another thing. Have you ever walked around your local area whenever the streetlights are all out? Have you ever walked around your local area whenever there's nobody there and everybody's fucking disappeared? It is not the same.
No, it's spooky. It's 28 days later vibe, isn't it?
I'll tell you something. I was in Belfast the day that they thought there was going to be a breach of the peace process. It wasn't the Yoma bomb because that was different. It was something after that, but there was something happened that was either I think it could have been Canary Wharf or whatever. And
yep.
Well, I swear to God, I was in Belfast city centre. and the news came through that it was a Saturday afternoon, and within 15 minutes, Belfast city centre was empty because everybody had just went home. And I was walking out. I had something that I needed to do, and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm fucking doing this first, but I am going back." And whenever I was coming out, there was like about 6 Japanese tourists outside the city hall, looking around them, scratching their heads, going, "What the fuck's just happened here?" Because them and me walking back to where I was going was the only people on the street. It's weird as fuck. It seems to be it's a similar thing where everybody in London at that time has just got their feeling, I need to get home. And off the rant as best they can, and it's eerie as fuck. And the distance will be a lot longer than you think it is just because of the weirdness.
Yeah, I mean, it's mad. I do recall, I think it would have been in the early 80s still, that we would quite often get, if you're in the like Yarndale Centre in Luton, shopping, and it'd be the old, all right, yeah, we've had a bomb alert.
Yeah.
If you want to evacuate, you can evacuate. Because it used to happen so often. And it was like, well, are the shops going to shut? No. So just letting you know, we've had a bomb threat. You know, if you want to go. If you don't, this place will still be open. And that used to be quite a regular thing. And unfortunately, the IRA never did blow up that fucking Arndale Centre. It's still a shithole.
Interestingly, whenever those warnings come through, they pretty much know whether it's genuine or not, because if it's a genuine one, it comes with a code word.
That's right, yeah.
So what happens is, whenever somebody's planted a bomb, the first thing they do is they go to a phone box and they phone the Samaritans and say, there's a bomb at X location. It's going to go off at Y time, and my code word is Hootie Durder. And they know that that's genuine because the last time somebody called Hootie Durder said that this was going to happen, it actually fucking did.
Yeah. But do you think, because it's easier for them to call in with a genuine sort of password and not actually put a bomb in, just for the chaos?
The total fake ones don't come with a password. But the police and the police are obligated to go check it out.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's it. I don't know. You get all those regularly bomb threats. I don't know whether they come with,
the police and the bomb squad and all those people. They can get a warning called in, and even if they know, or 99.999% know that it's not genuine, they still need to go through all the processes, because if they've got it wrong and people turn into red mist, then they've got a massive fucking problem. But whenever you can tell the difference whenever they know it's genuine, because there's a hell of a lot more urgency to it.
Right. Yeah, well, maybe that's just what I was experiencing. It was just any arsehole calling in saying, "Oh, I've planted a bomb at British Home Stores or WH Smith's in Yarndale," and so that's why you get the sort of the issue. There's the intercom.
There's a school in Belfast called Boys Model over in North Belfast that generally have a good football team, and the amount of bomb scares around that school and the bus route whenever that team had to travel to play a football match was fucking off the rails.
Right. Yeah.
Other teams didn't want to play them, wanting to have to forfeit points and whatnot, and there was bomb scares put on about that. Also to disrupt, well, it's a Protestant school, so there was people wanting to disrupt their education, their sports and whatnot. But it tended that that was a thing that was pretty much unique to Boys Model because they generally won the Belfast Schools League.
Right, and I think that it used to be quite common at football grounds at the time as well in the early 80s.
It probably was.
You know, and I don't ever recall a genuine bomb going off, but I think there are a lot of these sort of scares where they might have come and looked, you know, and they might have announced it over the PA system, but it was nothing, and it didn't. At the end of the day, it didn't really cause the chaos that they were hoping it was, and it probably wasn't genuine anyway. You know,
but
so.
There's something else I want to touch on all this. Whenever you're saying about there's no memorial for 7/7, there's no memorial for anything that's happened. Very aware that this is Remembrance Weekend.
Yeah.
Belfast in the 80s was a bit tasty. More the 70s. The 70s was a lot more tasty. Do you have been a fucking 16-year-old about 1972? That would have been good. I was too young. Missed out a shitload of rapping. But we there's something not just quite right with the remembrance that we have as a country. And don't get me wrong, Remembrance Day, really respect it, really respect the sacrifice of our soldiers, always have. I wore a poppy 365. I've been wearing a poppy since the enamel pins come on because I've got one on all my jackets. But it seems to me that the English people are pushed into, if you want to be patriotic, they funnel it to Remembrance Day and they focus that on World War I, World War II. And they say, yes, it includes everybody since World War I. And I don't think Remembrance Day is the right day for the victims of terrorism. I think they need their own day.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Because there has been plenty. There has been plenty. And I think they need their own day. But and there's nothing remembered prior to World War I. And it's not like we just suddenly found out that sometimes we need to fight battles and wars in World War I. The English people have been fighting battles from their existence. The first bit, you started off as tribes. Then the Romans came. The Romans went. Angles, Jutes, Saxons came. Normans came. Anglo Saxons and Jutes learned to rub along together and got the very harshest edges of the totalitarian Norman state away. And these are all things that were fought for to create the country that we have today. Granted, it was done to create a country that's better than the one we have today because we've let things slip. But part of the problem of getting back to where we should be is we're not allowed to talk. It's not that we're not allowed. It's that we don't. Because clearly we're talking about it now. But we don't talk enough about how we got to where we are. And we definitely do not talk about everything that's happened since then. And there should be something for the terrorist attacks.
That's a very good point. But if I just correct you for 1 minute there,
yeah,
you didn't mention Cheddar Man, you absolute bigot.
Yeah,
he built Stonehenge and
to be fair, I also never mentioned the Loch Ness Monster or the Yeti, and they've got as much to do with Stonehenge and the chalk horses and everything else that the fucking Cheddar Man does. So I left them all out. All the mythical creatures.
You bigot.
Yeah.
So Rag
but
said Black History gets a month as pride. Yeah, right,
the other thing is,
yeah.
I do tend to bring out a video about Remembrance most Novembers.
You do,
generally
yeah.
quarterly. I was quite cognizant of the date coming up, and I did push things. It's turned out great, but I did push it to get this one out for Sunday because it does go to the history and the present and the going forward. And Remembrance Day is probably not the day for all of that, but it's definitely the day for a conversation about some of it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Actually, let's say 9th. Yeah, so Remembrance Day tomorrow, isn't it? So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what chaos ensues in London town tomorrow.
I honestly don't think there'll be any. I think that the authorities are sensible enough. Well, here's the thing.
No.
Right.
Can I just stop you there? No.
Oh, here's the thing. See the actual service itself at the Cenotaph, the National Memorial. Yeah. The Prime Minister's there. The politicians are there. There's not going to be any trouble. They won't let them be in any danger.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true. In that area at that time.
They don't. I do not think that they give a fuck about the memorial itself. I don't think they give a fuck about the people. But I do think they're cognizant of their own safety. And that's why they'll make sure that nothing happens tomorrow, or at least tomorrow during the service. Whether or not something happens tomorrow evening is a whole other matter. And by the way, there should be a minute's silence at that thing at 11 p.m. as well.
Yeah.
At the rise of the sun and the going down, we shall remember them.
Sorry, Matt, I think I spoke over you.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. Right, and I think... Nah, Rags, it's not the servicemen, it's the veterans. What they reckon is whenever Keir Starmer's walking up, the veterans are going to do an about turn, and that's fine and good. I think they probably should. I have... Yeah, I also would be... I have previously sent emails to politicians to say that if they're going to shit on white men all year round, they're not welcome at Remembrance Day. But I mean, it gets something off your chest, but it's never going to get anywhere. And what have I done? What I am going to do, we're coming up in an hour, so I'm going to play a tune again. Okay.
Cool. I'll have a quick puff while you're doing that.
Yep.
I'll be on
not a problem.
I'll be on the Bluetooth.
Yeah. So
then we might try something a little bit different after that and see if we can get some tech working.
Okay. Yes, we will. We'll give that a go. So anybody that missed the very early part of the show, like a Brad, come in. Here we go. This is a new video. It's the Anglo Saxon. Al Mac on music, my vocals, and with a bit of MG in there. It's fucking brilliant. Here we go. Hello, you're listening to 42's letter to the Anglo Saxons. When you spread this message, you are the resistance. The Anglo Saxon. The Anglo Saxon shook his head sharply, his hair dislodging droplets of sweat from the back of his neck, the produce of moving a carcass to the workbench. The sharpened blades and cleavers felt natural in his hand. The carcass divided to his will. The Anglo-Saxon's muscle memory was that of a warrior. His body was lost to the toil, but his mind wandered to memories that were not his own. An intruder startled the Anglo-Saxon. However, before him was not the meadows and glades of his ancestors, but a butcher's shop window. While politely serving the customer, the Anglo-Saxon mourned the loss of a kingdom he had never known, of the rituals and customs that were lost long before his grandparents were even born. Outside, the street was a bustle. He knew there were others like him, ones who carried the warrior's pride. Amongst them he would find the rightful place of an Anglo-Saxon. The Anglo-Saxon.
It was not preached to the crowd, it was not taught by the state. No man spoke it aloud when the Anglo-Saxons began to hate. It was not suddenly bred, it will not swiftly abate. Through the chill years ahead, when the time shall count from the date that the Anglo-Saxons began to hate. When time shall count from the date the Anglo-Saxons began to hate.
Game over.
That hair getting that hair getting chopped off still gives me a giggle. I think Al Mac's probably not quite back yet because it's a very short song. Yes, I still get a bit of a giggle every time I see that hair come off.
No, I'm back. It was it's a short track. So I just got a fag in there.
Yeah, you're right. I could have got it on for a bit.
No rags, no. It's just a fag, mate. I need to.
Sansom's arrived.
Oh,
what about you, Sean?
I mate. No, I need to. I only eat cakes that Emma G makes. So you don't need to puff the magic dragon when you eat those.
Yeah. Oh yes. Emma G's cakes are very nice. So sometimes they get a bit dry. Yeah, need a bit of milk.
Bit gravy.
Yeah. Oh fuck. 1 second. I need to cough. Offa was technically the first king of England, in my view. I'm not sure who Offa is. Brad, you've got me on that one.
Heard of him?
Yeah, when I need to actually get back on this because I had started off going through the kings and queens of England. But I need to rejig how I'm trying to do it because what I was going to try and do. Yes, Offa's dead. I gotcha. I'm familiar with the deck because we have a very similar defensive fortification in Ulster called the Black Pig deck. And whenever seen Offa's deck, I was like, oh, let's have a look at that. I had a nosy at that, but the name had slipped me. Where the fuck was I? I had something profound to say, but it's totally gone now. Oh, fuck. Right. Yes, Al, you were going to show us some of the magic from behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're going to give it a go.
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
Which, we'll see how it works. So, what I'm going to do is try to demonstrate if the sharing the screen works. Some of the software that we use now. What was the stream that? Yeah, I think it was Budgie Burger was talking about drum machines or something on the.
Yes, he was.
I'm not sure what it was on about. I don't know if he's around tonight, but
I haven't seen him, and his comments are fucking glorious too.
Yeah, I wanted to try and show you first of all because it's up first. piece of software that you would have heard on all the 42 tracks and Justice Kane 42 tracks. And it's a bit of software called Superior Drummer 3 or SD3. And it's probably the most sophisticated drum software you can get. You would have heard it on a lot of commercial records. It's probably you'll find it in all top studios and all that, and it cost a few quid.
Just before you do that, I have to jump in on something here. Right. Yep. Athelstan was the first king of England whenever so you started off in tribes, then you merged into regions which were still separate in tribes, and then gradually all those areas merged together to create what you would call modern England. And Athelstan was the first ruler of all of the different areas. So you've a few kings that came before him that were a king of a decent sized landmass, but not the whole. That's right. Sorry. Right. Back to the technique stuff.
Right. Oh, I think, Simpson's heard of it, or maybe he's taking a piss. I don't know. Right. So I'm going to try and bring this up now. So do a share screen. Yeah, share screen. Windows. I'll hit share here. See if you can see.
Yep.
What can we see there? Okay. So that's not showing exactly the screen I wanted. Let's see if we try and bring up SD3 again. No. Okay. What we got there, right? So it's not bringing up the SD3 screen, which is within this DAW called Reaper. It's one of the ones I use.
Sorry, what's a DAW?
So DAW stands.
I was thinking something about a duck's arse.
Well, it could sound like that. Digital Audio Workstation. Yeah, that's what it stands for. So just a DAW, basically DAW, Digital Audio Workstation. Yeah, Simpson got it there. There are loads of them. Probably one of the first ones that's being used in the 80s, 90s was Cubase, Pro Tools, Reaper, Studio. They're just too many to mention, really. Let's see if this works, because I just worked. So unfortunately, the screen of SD3 hasn't come up, but just wanted to see if we can hear.
No, I'm going to ask some layman dumbass questions.
That's cool. Yeah.
Right. See all these different little bars that are on the screen, and they go down in chunks like lines on the page. Are they all different bits of music?
Yeah. So what you can see, I've expanded. If I just do that, see if it works in real time. No. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay. All right. Okay. So this one I'm expanding, and Simpson will know this well. This is called MIDI. So you see all these dots. If I click on this, if I double click on this, hopefully, just wait a second. I think it's a little bit of a delay on it. Is he going to bring up the MIDI editor? Not going to show it. No. So it's the first time we tried this, guys. So I was hoping to bring up the MIDI editor because it's on the same screen. I'll probably have to go back and share that separate screen. Okay, let's shut down the MIDI editor.
Oh,
so basically,
send some skimming face here from the sidelines.
Click on the VST track. Well, no, it's not doing that because it's a separate. It brings up a separate.
It's putting it on the separate screen.
Yeah. Right. Anyway. So if you see all the little dots there.
Yeah, and there's drums.
Yeah, can you hear that? Okay.
I could hear it. It was low, but I could hear it.
All right. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Okay. Right. So that's just a drum track. I'll bring in a little bit of the bass line with it as it comes in. So the bass line, if I expand this out, was me playing. So what you're seeing now, if I solo the bass, we've got solo the drums and the bass, you can see where I've actually played here. And you can see all the edits. So what you're looking at now is a WAV file. So as I played the bass guitar, I've recorded it onto here, and it's recorded digitally. So it's not recorded onto tape like it would have been done in the original sort of studio. It's actually a WAV file, an audio WAV file. So you'll hear the bass and the drums together. Okay, stuff like that. So a little bit of Anglo Saxon coming in there, which is you.
Hello, you are listening to 42's letter to the Anglo Saxons. When you spread this message, you are the resistance. The Anglo Saxon. Yeah, that noise is what poor Almac gets to work with.
Yeah, yeah. So you see what I've done here? I've chopped. If I zoom in a bit, I know there's a little bit of a delay as I'm doing this, so I'm watching the screen on the layer. Okay, you can see where I've chopped up 42's voice. There are some effects on it. Let's see if they'll come up. Let's walk up an effect strip. No, I'd have to go in and share that. Okay, so that's come up as a separate screen. Okay, it's not quite worked out as I'd hoped. So I want to show you what I've got here is a channel strip, which has all kinds of stuff on it. Noise gate, compression, EQ. That allows me to tailor how I want that sound to be. Then I can send it out to like reverbs and stuff like that, which you can hear on the voice. So the reverb goes to a separate track, which is down here, and I'll expand that one. So anything I want with reverb on it will go to this reverb track. I'll put a send on it. Yeah, see it's coming out. It's a shame I can't show you the things that are on it. Go on, mate.
So you're putting all these sounds in individually?
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Right. And then eventually there's something processed that puts that on the one audio file?
Well, everything will go to the stereo, the mix bus. But if I want to send something, I can set up a channel or a track with a particular effect on it. Then I can do a send, and it will send that to anything I want it to. So, then I can send anything I want to send to that effect. So I can put separate effects on each track, but with things like delays and reverbs, we'll stick them on you stick them on a separate track and put a send on it. That's the most effective way to do it. So, okay, if I expand here, so we've got solo that.
Hello, you're listening to 42.
So we've got a keyboard part that I put on there. Let's bring in another keyboard part.
Hello, you're listening to 42.
So we've got this piece. It's mainly going through the whole track.
Hello, you're listening to 42's letter to the Anglo Saxons. When you spread this message, you are your assistants. The Anglo Saxon.
Okay, bringing some other keyboard parts. So there's actually lots of keyboard parts on this. Not doing anything.
That's cool the way they're all set in different spaces, but then you see the line where it's going across them all. That's cool.
That's right. So you can see all these are WAV files and not MIDI files. I know Sensible can see that. Look at all these WAV files.
Yeah.
So what that means is these are all played live and it wasn't MIDI. So the only MIDI on this track was actually the drums. And I wish I could have shown you that because SD3 is an incredible bit of kit. So it's like when you use SD3 drum software, it's like you've got a whole another DAW within the DAW that's just for the drums. And you can change about 20, 25 drum kits, hundreds of different drums that you could put on those drum kits, different styles. You've got pre-production presets by top producers. That's it. That's Reaper. It's a really cool bit of kit. So if I take all the solos off, so I'll start to play it. What's this down here?
Yeah, hold on. I just need to interrupt you.
Well,
there's 20 people in here, and there's 2 of them seem to know all about this stuff. I think that's quite fucking amazing.
Yeah,
it shows that we have fucking talented, creative people about the place.
Exactly. Yeah, I said that before when we started. I said there'll be a few people. There's quite a few people within our sphere that's already knows this stuff, and obviously there'll be quite a few people that won't. But there's a lot of talented people within this.
I'll be totally honest with you. What I could do with that is hit a play button. That's my limit. And I'm well used to know my limit and not to try to go past it and leave all this technical stuff to the people that can actually do it.
That's right.
Because I would fuck it up. But
well, you do need some sort of
sounds like this is porn.
Yeah. I hope it is for someone anyway. I was actually wrong. I forgot that there is some more MIDI on here. So what I did with one track, let's just see what it sounds like on its own. It's been a while. So I created one track and I created it with MIDI with this keyboard here. And I put an arpeggiator on it. So I'll just solo this. And this kind of goes all the way through the track nearly, apart from that little break that's in there. And the arpeggiator sort of screws around with the MIDI, and it sort of plays arpeggios of the actual keyboard line like that. So if I take the arpeggiator off, I go in here and take the arpeggiator off and the ping pong pan, there'll be. All right, no, we're not hearing that. Okay. Never mind. So you're getting that sort of, it's a bit of an 80s sound. Let's first started using arpeggios in the 80s, I guess, and you hear this kind of thing with electronic music. So it sounds total nonsense on its own.
Yeah.
That's you hear those kind of arpeggios in modern music. You have been for years. So what we've got here, let's have a look. Oh yeah, so we've got this sound going on. So there's two of them. There's another one somewhere. All right. So just simple things like that, they happen on beat one of every bar, virtually all the way through the track. And on their own, they sound like nothing. But when it's all together, they outline the chord changes. So it's very, giving away some little secrets here how music's made. But which can be hopefully interesting to some people.
Hello, you're listening to 42's letter to the Anglo Saxons. When you spread this message, you are your assistants. The Anglo Saxon. The Anglo Saxon shook his head sharp. His hair dislodging droplets of sweat from the back.
So you can hear those little tinkle sounds just outlining the chord changes. Yeah. I'll just shut that down. I will mess about and try and get up SD3 on its own because that is really super cool. But I'll have to present that as a separate. Just clicking on the VST won't do it. I can see when it comes up Sensum, but it's not because it's a different window from Reaper, so it's not shared. So I will try and bring it up. Yep.
Brad, thank you very much for those lovely kind words, and thanks. By the way, I have been, as you can see, I've got a couple of projects going on at the minute. I do want to do something with you, and I will get in touch with you. It would have been unfair to contact you sooner because I know that I don't have any time to actually do the fucking thing at the minute, but we're getting there. And what I will show you, Sansom sent us a little picture. Share screen, window. Yep. Sansom sent me this through. Yes. A nice bit of that Sansom's drum kit. Right, I'll take that back down again. My head's away with stop screen. Right, well, I think after that, because it's like 20 minutes and it's come to 25 minutes since we played the completed thing. So I think we'll owe these people another rewatch. What do you think?
Yeah, go for it.
Yep. And by the way, this has just been made public. So it's on the channel now. Brad, seen that. Thanks very much, mate. Yes. So you can get to, it'll be there for you to watch later on and share the shit out of it, please. Hello, you're listening to 42's letter to the Anglo Saxons. When you spread this message, you are the resistance. The Anglo Saxon. The Anglo Saxon shook his head sharply, his hair dislodging droplets of sweat from the back of his neck, the produce of moving a carcass to the workbench. The sharpened blades and cleavers felt natural in his hand. The carcass divided to his will. The Anglo-Saxon's muscle memory was that of a warrior. His body was lost to the toil, but his mind wandered to memories that were not his own. An intruder startled the Anglo-Saxon. However, before him was not the meadows and glades of his ancestors, but a butcher's shop window. While politely serving the customer, the Anglo-Saxon mourned the loss of a kingdom he had never known. of the rituals and customs that were lost long before his grandparents were even born. Outside, the street was a bustle. He knew there were others like him, ones who carried the warrior's pride. Amongst them he would find the rightful place of an Anglo Saxon. The Anglo Saxon.
It was not preached to the crowd, it was not taught by the state. No man spoke it aloud when the Anglo Saxons began to hate. It was not suddenly bred, it will not swiftly abate. Through the chill years ahead, when the time shall count from the date that the Anglo Saxons began to hate. When time shall count from the date the Anglo Saxons began to hate.
Game over.
Right.
Oh. Sansom, it's not an orc, it's a troll. Oh, right. The amount of food, the amount of stuff I had to watch to try to find the right images for this. There's a chunk of it is out of Beowulf, the movie, which is an Anglo-Saxon chronicle, blah, blah, blah. The bit where they're coming along with the horses and the torches, they're actually following a troll in the film, and then they kill the troll. Thought probably best not to put that into the video, but that's what's going on. So it's not an orc, it's a troll. The other bit that was heavily used and repeated was a film I found on the Battle of Hastings, which is where the warrior bits come from. And what have you? Almac has given me something else. Here we go.
No, it's not having it. It's still bringing up. So I've brought up sharing the winter. It's the same thing. It's Reaper.
Yeah.
I'm trying to share the screen with SD3 on it, which when I hit share, stop sharing there. When I choose that window, right?
Yep.
And I can see it, I'm choosing the one with SD3 on it, and it's not coming up. It just comes up with Reaper. Because I guess because it's working with inside Reaper. So anyway, never mind. So as you were, about that.
Almost. Trying to think, is there anything else we need to talk about this video and footage? Oh, yes, there is something that I have been meaning to say. This thing that we're doing with the music and all and whatnot, there is going to be a Substack up here. Because I think we've got the position where we've got to a point where we need to explain the music a bit, what we're trying to do. So I'm going to create a Substack. I know Brad is a talented artistic person. I've said I'd like to work with him. We may get him involved. I want this to be somewhere where people like us that want to tell a story of the English people, the Scottish people, the Welsh people, the Ulster people, not the Irish people, fuck them, they've been telling their own story. But I want to make this something where people can come and actually tell their story. And those of you that are in the know that I'm involved in another project at the minute, and there could be spawns from that to try to make this happen. But oh yeah, Emma G's part was very good. I suppose it does help that she was getting Kipling's lines and not mine. But what I'm currently passionate about is making sure that our story gets told. And we're working on it. And we're not going to manage absolutely fucking everything, but we'll do what we can.
Okay, so what I've done, I've opened up ST3 independently.
Yep.
Outside of Reaper. So, Can you hear that?
Yeah.
So this is just one of the drum kits. But really where the magic is, right, you can choose these grooves. So I put it onto this page. I can choose a style, right, and it's vague because they could, you know, let's just choose a disco one, for instance. So it'll bring up, I've not put any other search things in at the moment. We'll just put standard, straight, hi-hat, closed. So it will narrow it down. So it'll bring us up a load of these beats like that. Choose a fill. Take that off. Get that off. So here's the mixer just for that. Well, first of all, let's just choose a basic. Let's go to the fills. And we can drag them down into this bar down here. And we could build the whole drum part up down here if we wanted. So I could just bring up another one. But the way that I use it, I drag them into Reaper. So they become a MIDI track on Reaper, which is really cool. So I don't have to use them down here. So, but we could build up a drum part down there. And it has its own mixer for within it. So you can bring each individual drum sound into Reaper as an individual track. But because the mixer and the plugins on SD3 are so good, I generally just leave them on a stereo MIDI track and control everything, the separate mixer just for the drums on here, and let that just go to Reaper and put all the MIDI in Reaper. So that's a Collins kit. So we can just like choose the styles of kits here: pop rock, indie rock room. What that's that. So it'll bring up another drum kit.
All right, so
it's just infinite. It's infinite.
Different drum kits for different sounds.
Yeah, it's just there are so many drum kits on here, but on top of that, not only are there so many drum kits, just for instance here, this drum kit has this snare drum on it.
Yep.
But I can go here and look at all these drum kits. Sorry, all these snare drums that I can just change that snare drum, for instance.
All right.
Change it. Just right click on it. You know, and I can do that with every single instrument on the kit. And I can change the kit, and I can use a sample, my own library of samples, and I can add that sample to this kit. So I can use, a snare sample from Metallica and add this to this drum kit. It's
so
just crazy.
If you were trying to do that with physical drums, you'd either have to have
not a chance,
right?
Not a chance.
Yeah, and that's even with, because I know a little bit about drums, and you can tighten and loosen the skin to create a slightly different sound. But there's a very slim parameter in that.
Yeah. There are so many different, sort of drum kits.
The only snare drums I know are created for fucking more. No, the snare drums that we use in our marching bands are military ones,
right.
which gives that distinctive sound. So
that's right.
Of all the conversations I've had have been about one type of snare drum and one type of bass drum, because they all use the same type.
That's it. There's even mad stuff on here with all electronic stuff. So there's a couple of the 42
Ooh.
tracks that we did, where I had the normal kit, then I had like this electronic drum kit also playing along as well with completely different sounds. It's just mad.
Oh, talking about
You might recognize this if you can hear it. It is anyway. I know it's probably boring a lot of people now, but I just want to demonstrate that this is infinite. It's almost infinite. What you can do with this is just crazy. I'll do this. You know, it's a commercial thing. I get paid money for producing albums and stuff for people, and I'll be honest, I probably only know 45% of what this does, because that's all I need to know. You know what I mean? It's mad. Anyway, I'll shut that down for you.
right. No, hold on. Talking about drumming, I've a little treat for you. This is from a protest in Sandy Row in Belfast. We are protesting about the removal of the Boyne Bridge because it's historically important. And here's a little clip from the protest. Hold on if this comes up. Yeah. There we go. Just let the drums rattle.
Can I just say, and I said this when I come back from Northern Ireland, I did say it on the stream with you as well. And I went down to watch a parade, didn't I?
Yeah.
So there were lots of marching bands coming through. Now, those big bass drums that you heard them on that little clip there, you cannot, unless you're standing next to one of them, you're not getting any idea just how the sound and the depth and boom that those big bass drums make. They're fucking unbelievable.
See those ones? See those ones in that video clip? They're the next size up from the ones you've seen in the parades.
Oh yeah, I can see that they're a lot deeper. They're more like drum kit.
They're lambics. The loudest percussion instrument known to man, and you could hear those 4 mile away.
Yeah, I mean, I played on some big stages with like 20,000 watt PA systems, subs all across the floor. When you hear the drums on their own, right, it's fucking unreal. It's shaking the ground for miles around. I mean, it is amazing playing on a stage with a massive PA system, and just hearing the drums is just awesome. It's just awesome. But what I wasn't expecting, you know, that you can understand because of the sheer, you know, power and the electronic amplification that's involved with it. But when these guys are walking past you with these ratty-tatty snare drums that are so tight and they're playing all together, and the guys are hitting the bass drums, and as they come past you, you're sort of like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that from an acoustic drum that's not mic'd up or anything. It's just in a drum. He's walking by, and it goes through your chest.
Yep.
in that similar way. When you go to a big gig and you see a big band, and when that kick drum is going through your chest, and you feel it, and goes right through your bones, and you feel it. I wasn't expecting that from an acoustic drum as walking
Yeah.
past.
The Tigs have said that we make our bands artificially louder than they should be in order to piss them off. And we would say where our music is accepted, we will play it loud. And where our music is challenged, we will play it fucking louder. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and without a doubt, it's, it puts the hairs on your back of your neck up.
Yeah.
It just is awesome. Really cool. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think we've pretty much
Yes, we have.
done with
We've
that now.
done. Yeah, and we've done an hour 40. I'm going to wrap this up a little bit early tonight because I'll have a long day today. I have a place to be tomorrow morning, which is very time conscious because it's Remembrance Sunday.
Yeah.
I'll be out in my. I'm not streaming it, by the way. I know generally whenever I go to events or whatnot in my community, I tend to bring a camera in, but this is what I'm not doing. Various reasons, but I've got that coming on, so I do want to get to bed a bit earlier. All Shasters, and I think this have had a decent stream here tonight. So I'm gonna. Unless, is there anything else you need to talk about, Al? No.
Well, no, I was just going to say, yeah, that's it. I was at a rehearsal all afternoon for the sort of funk soul band that I'm playing to go and know some new songs, and turned up there with an absolute fucking raging hangover from last night. So, which I didn't intend to do. So, yeah, by the time I got back here about 8 o'clock, I was absolutely shafted.
Yeah, with about 3 hours of driving.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour round trip as well. So yeah, it's mad. But yeah, so thanks for everyone listening to my boring shit about DAWs and how the
it was actually quite interesting.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it depends, doesn't it? So
well, I'll tell you.
And goes after the bugs.
Yeah, we'll eat some bugs, Anglo. Don't worry, we're not getting away bad.
Yeah, look, thanks for having me on, mate, and thanks to everyone in the chat. Yeah,
it's an absolute pleasure.
Been a while.
I'm going to say this publicly. From this all started off whenever I got you on to talk about your collaborations with other with other nationalist people who had to come to you or somebody like you because they can't get it done in the mainstream, or they get overpriced and the people don't actually care about the work or getting it right. And from that spawned harmony, melody, and rhyme.
It did.
And the thread through harmony, melody, and rhyme is let us gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. And I believe we're doing it, mate. And it has been an absolute pleasure working with you.
Thank you, you too. And that has now become like a classic line.
Yeah, it has. And we're talking to Brad. I'll definitely get you a message like tonight or tomorrow, Brad, sort of try to explain things. But yes, would love to have you come on board with the Resistance. There's going to be a Substack coming up because I believe we need to do that. So there'd be some, AM for Almac. And very interested in getting the likes of Brad and other people that want to tell a story of the British people from a patriotic perspective, and you're good at it. Well, you can write or whatever it is. Would love to have it. We'll need to make this bigger. Anybody that wants to tell their story in writing form, but they reckon they're not brilliant with words, don't worry about it. If you want, I will personally go with whatever you go through, whatever you've wrote paragraph by paragraph with you. Try to clean it up a little bit or whatever. But importantly, make sure that it finishes up saying what you intended to say in the first place. We all are better at this than we think. What we have got a large problem of is we've had most of our life being told to shut up about it. And I'm here saying, no, don't shut up about it. Let's talk about it. And the people that want to come together and put that out in the world, they're more than welcome. Provided they're not idiots. We are going to try to limit the idiots. I gotta say that. But we are interested in growing this thing. We will be having some Eat the Bugs. I think we'll do Eat the Bugs now. Al, is there anything you want to add on to that?
No, mate, yeah, I think you're exactly right there. And it was very poignant saying that we've been told to shut up about it. And I think what we've seen in other countries and over in the States, that people don't want to shut up about it anymore. We've had enough. And I think it's our turn. Politically, we're screwed for the next 5 years. But behind the scenes and protest and resist, I think that we don't have to shut up about it anymore.
What you need to understand about politics is we are stage side of the curtain. And the bit backstage of that curtain works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We tend to engage with it once every 4 years. I don't think there's any way that this gets better unless we change what we do. We need to tell our story, and we need to lobby, and we need to learn what works, learn what doesn't work, and focus on the stuff that works and kick at the bottom brick. Don't be thinking you're going to throw a Labour government out next week, because that's not going to happen. But you can kick away at the bottom brick and affect all the small bits. And if you do that consistently enough, it changes the big things eventually. And with that, I'm going to get up some Eat the Bugs before I end up saying something fucking stupid. Eat the bugs. Open, you bastard. And it will be a double outro, because you ain't getting away without another go. That's Anglo Saxon tonight.
And don't forget to brace, people. You all know where the brace is.
Yeah. For fuck's sake. Something.
Is it? It's not playing that track, is it?
Yeah.
Problems with it.
I'm having hold on.
Well, you sort it out.
Right.
Bang it on there.
Right, close that. There's something that I think I might have to download this video again. Right.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as good when you play it from YouTube, because there's all the sort of bandwidth swishing and swashing around.
Right.
Welcome to the resistance.
You will own nothing, and you will be happy. As you will eat the bugs. Eat the bugs.
Oh shit, man. Eat the bugs? You got me wrong. You got me so wrong. You ever seen a cave drawing of somebody with a spear hunting a mosquito? Well, me either. We eat meat and we have choices. You cook the hedgehog right? It tastes like chicken. Fucking chicken. I ain't eating your bugs. I ain't eating your bugs. I started off with nothing and I'm never going back. I'm not getting on your progressive track. With Agenda 2030, I refuse to engage. I can see where it is going and it's just another cage. I've got hedgehog, I've got rabbit, I've got wild hog. Fuck it, I could even move to Alaska and get me a nice caribou. Fuck it, I'm not eating your bugs. You're trying to take away what I fought so hard to get, so I'm going to say no to your cattle country. Eat the bugs, live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy. Oh, nothing and be happy. I've seen the people with nothing and they don't look happy. Eat the bugs, live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy. Oh, nothing and be happy. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. Oh shit, man, you got me wrong. You got me so fucking wrong. There are millions of us in the UK, billions worldwide, unvaccinated, striding out into our third winter of death with not a care in the world. Eating pig, eating cow, eating chicken, and we will not conform. Fuck it, I'm not eating your bugs. Hey, Klaus Schwab, this is 42, and I want the word with you. Motherfucker.
This is the fourth industrial revolution. We have a window of opportunity for the great reset. Technology is a critical weapon. History is truly at a turning point. We can shape a better world, and we will reglobalize to make it a better place. So will all live, and so will be, and so will eat the bugs.
Why we got me talking? Why is United Nations in charge of Stonehenge? Keeping me away from the stones? That's not world heritage, that's British heritage. You're getting to a point where the people just want to be left alone and going to get involved. Tell me again, why is United Nations running Stonehenge? Fuck it. Stonehenge, New Games, a fucking Pennine Mountain Range, now owned by UNESCO, so you and I can never go. Fuck your 15-minute cities and your Internet of Things. We are going back to nature, see what that life brings. We had a good look at the farming we did, so we hook up with the woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We hook up with the woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We hook up with the woodlander and take our shit off grid.
You will have as you have. Eat the bugs. Eat the bugs. You will be happy.
This is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance.
Fuck it. I can't see at some stage soon a template being made for the resistance and there being another abandoned building found for a bit of spray painting. And with that, I'm going to pull up the Anglo Saxon, give it its last blip of the night, and I'll put your comments up on the screens. Hello, you're listening to 42's letter to the Anglo Saxons. When you spread this message, you are the resistance. The Anglo Saxon. The Anglo Saxon shook his head sharply, his hair dislodging droplets of sweat from the back of his neck, the produce of moving a carcass to the workbench. The sharpened blades and cleavers felt natural in his hand. The carcass divided to his will. The Anglo-Saxon's muscle memory was that of a warrior. His body was lost to the toil, but his mind wandered to memories that were not his own. An intruder startled the Anglo-Saxon. However, before him was not the meadows and glades of his ancestors, but a butcher's shop window. While politely serving the customer, the Anglo-Saxon mourned the loss of a kingdom he had never known, of the rituals and customs that were lost long before his grandparents were even born. Outside, the street was a bustle. He knew there were others like him, ones who carried the warrior's pride. Amongst them he would find the rightful place of an Anglo-Saxon. The Anglo-Saxon.
It was not preached to the crowd, it was not taught by the state. No man spoke it aloud when the Anglo-Saxons began to hate. It was not suddenly bred, it will not swiftly abate. Through the chill years ahead, when the time shall count from the date that the Anglo-Saxons began to hate. When time shall count from the date the Anglo-Saxons began to hate.
Game over.
We finally defeated the Vikings at the Battle of Stamford Bridge in 1066, marched down the south, and the Normans were like, bonjour. Yeah, you were fighting the Vikings and the Normans at the same time. Same problem we had with Vikings and Celts. Cunts just, it's non-stop. But we are a resolute people and we will prevail. Al Mac, absolute pleasure having you on again. Thank you very much for coming on. And
My pleasure.
yeah, anything else you had? No.
No.
No, I thought that, right, but I thought I'd better ask. Right, okay, people, I've been 42, Al Mac has been Al Mac, and you lot in the chat have, as always, been fucking amazing. Thank you, good night, God bless, and I'll see you all next week. I'm out of here, goodbye. And the video is now live, you can watch it, you can share it. Let's get more than 300 people to watch that, because that would be a record. Right. Okay.
Yeah, please share it, people. Sorry, yeah, that's one thing I do want to add. Yeah, please share it around and let's let this thing grow a little bit. Anyone you think that might get the subtleties of it or the less subtleties of it, they might enjoy it a little bit. See that there are people who are making music for, our people.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. I'm ending on that. Bye bye.